Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to episode 8 of the Wild Bunch Talk Show. We got Clairemont Claremont High School coaching staff. Why don't we take a turn start with the head man? Y'all introduce yourself.
Head coach, Coach Gonzo.
Defensive coordinator Isaiah McDaniels.
Linebackers coach Samson New.
So appreciate y'all for coming through. You know what I'm saying? Y'all some young, up-and-coming coaches. So I just wanted to say, bring y'all on the show. Come chop some game, you know what I'm saying? And, chop up a little football. You know what I'm saying? So, head man, what's your name again, bro?
Coach Gonzo. My real name's Eduardo Gonzalez, but ever since, the Clairemont Hawk days with these guys, they've always called me Gonzo, so it kind of just stuck.
Okay, so all y'all play for Clairemont?
Yeah.
Okay, for sure.
Football.
Okay, I'm a Balboa Raider, man, so,
We had some battles.
Because before we went by grade, he was on that coastal. We always on that coastal team, weren't you?
Nah, bro. We always played.
You was on the Skyline team?
No.
That was the Claremont.
We was
Y'all
all,
were the actual.
Did y'all play with Stokes?
the actual Claremont
Did y'all play
team.
with Stokes?
Nah, he was a little bit younger.
Younger, yep.
Yeah.
How about the white boy, which y'all Dookie? Is that what you call him?
Yep. He was on our
Y'all play with him?
squad.
Hey, look, I swear to God,
He was
look.
on our squad.
So the first time I seen him, I thought he was black, bro. Because look, I was that game we was at La Jolla.
Yep.
I think he had like on the Under Armour, right? And then he caught this ball, bro. Levy, if you see this, you know what I'm saying. I didn't mean to bring you, bust you out, but he shook him. I don't know if you remember that. He shook him, bro, and just took off. And that play stuck with me. And a couple of the homies, they won state with Madison. I know Lee, AB, and all them.
Yes, sir.
They the
big
homies.
bros.
They the homies. I'm talking to them. I'm like, man, yo, this play Madison. It was close, but I'm like, man, they had this one ninja. You feel me? I'm like, they had this one ninja. He just shook my safety and got out like number 33. I'm like, how is this dude 33? Why is he number 33? And he was like, hold on, black dude. I'm like, yeah, he was black. He was like, nah, bro, he white. I said, you're lying. No way. But he had the long sleeve Under Armour. I swear to God, bro, I thought he was black like a mug, but yeah, but nah, he was cold though. He was cold.
That was the PPR player of the week that week too.
Yeah, bro, I'm telling you, I remember
won.
that play like it was yesterday. He shook him and just got out. But now y'all have some talent, man. So all y'all Claremont Hawks, huh?
Sir.
For sure.
Hey, shout out Brandon though, man. Yeah.
Nah, Brown, he was cold. He was cold. Is he still in Tennessee or was he doing now?
So he was in he got picked up by Tennessee, and then that didn't really work out. Mm-hmm. And then he tried for the XFL a little bit, and then he had some like injury come up.
Okay.
So now he's just back, serving for the country in the Air Force.
Okay, for sure. That's what's up,
He
man.
went to the academy.
Okay, that's what's up.
All right. So first off, first year head coach.
Sir.
First year coach for both of you guys. As a head, we'll go in order, but just first time being a head coach, first time being a first year coach. What's the biggest thing y'all learned on the fly right now?
Biggest thing, learn on the fly, from a head coach perspective, man, there's just so many things you got to deal with. Not even the football aspect, just, like parents, scheduling, communication. So, I'm learning every day, every week. And it helps to have a great staff coming from a football perspective, because when you got to deal with, like, the administration stuff, it gets kind of hard. But when you can rely on your staff to truly dive into football, it helps out a lot.
Yeah, because I know, like, for a head coach, before you even get to the X's and O's from players, there's parents, coaches, meetings, stuff like that, budgeting, all that. So, man, kudos to you.
Yeah, so I would say, it's my first year being a coach ever, and then being a young coach also, it helps that I can relate to the kids a lot more. So I get a lot more responsiveness from the coaching I give them. But I would say the biggest thing I've learned on the fly is adjustments, because, me being a football player, I played at, each level pretty much. And a lot of the kids that we're working with, it's their first year playing varsity football or their first year playing football ever. So I have to look at it from the perspective of not how much I know football, but how much they know football. So when it comes to personnel, when it comes to making adjustments, certain coverages, certain type of defenses, you just can and can't run just because of the type, the the kids that you have, and you gotta suit it to their strengths, not to your strengths. So I would say that's the biggest thing I've learned.
You off to a good start, man, because a lot of people, they can't grasp that fact that you might want to do this front or this coverage or this and this, but you can't do it if they don't know it. You know what I'm saying? So that's one important thing coming in as a young coach. That's good that you're learning early, is to adjust to your personnel. Don't ever be this type of coach to be stuck in one system. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I run my system. This is what I do. Don't ever be stuck doing that. People ask me all the time, like, you run a 30 or 40, 50, like, what do you run? I'm just like, man, they think I'll be like being an asshole or trying to be like cocky or something, but nah, it's really just depends on who we play and really who I'm gonna have this week. You know what I'm saying? Like, coaching that links, well, somebody might get in trouble. So spill, you don't know what's gonna happen. So you gonna have to change a whole game plan can change if one guy isn't playing. You know what I'm saying? So just never be stuck into being into one system. Always be multiple and be the terms and everything is always gonna be the same. But you can always adjust as far as a front. You want to go over, under. You want to play with a cover up. This, you know what I'm saying? Never be afraid. Don't be stuck that, oh, I'm just a 40 or a 30 or a 50. Have it all, and then when you need it, just apply it as needed. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. And then another thing you talked about your youth. Like I had Tay on here as is, don't be afraid to embrace your guys' youth. Use that to your advantage. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Even me, we not old enough to be acting like nobody's daddy right now. You know what I'm saying? Right now, we big bros right now. You know what I'm saying? So don't shy away from that. Embrace it. Like you said, they're ready. All they want is somebody that they can relate to, and they know that you believe in them. You feel me? And they go run through a wall. You feel me? I tell all my players all the time. They be tripped out. I tell all the time. I love y'all. You feel me? Never hesitate to tell your players you love them, because all they want is, you know what I'm saying? A lot of kids, don't know what they're going through at home. You feel me? So when they come in here, all y'all know, football is our happy place. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, just embrace your youth and just let them know that you love them and you care for them, and they're going to do whatever you want them to do, bro, and it's all going to pay off. That's right. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but go ahead. Do you
Thank
think?
you, Coach.
Yeah, man, I'm not going to lie. What was the question again?
What's one thing that you have to learn on the fly as a first-year coach? So
Right. I think probably the hardest thing for me was differentiating between being a player and being a coach. You know what I'm saying? You could be a really good player, but that don't mean you're going to be a really good coach. So I think that's something that I had to learn on the fly. And, going back to with not being stagnant in terms of, like, schemes or whatever it is you want to do, I feel like we have a really good coaching staff. Although we're really young, I feel like Coach Zay, as well as all the OCs, they do a great job with making those kind of adjustments because we did have some injuries, that kind of made us flip our whole scheme and everything. And I feel like the coaches did a great job in making sure that they put our players in positions to make plays. So, yeah.
That's what's up. So next, when I'm back to you over here, head coach, I want to know, you guys played at Madison. I know the players y'all had players on players on players. And I know it's kind of different coming back to coaching and not having the same caliber of players. You feel me? I know y'all still got some guys, but you're used to everything being up here. So I want to know, how is the Clairemont team that you guys have taken in under your arm, how are they adapting to the change?
Right, 100%. Like you said, coming from Madison, a D1 program where you got over 100-plus kids in the program, to where we're at now, at Clairemont, to where, man, we touch 50, and then, you got some kids get hurt and some kids give up because
Don't show up.
Yeah, and a lot of it too is like it's a culture shock, right? Because like Coach Zay said, a lot of these kids never play football, and now we're demanding them to go to the weight room 7 a.m. We're demanding film sessions, like we're demanding so much more than that they've ever been asked to do. So to answer your question, like, yeah, it's a huge difference, man. A lot of the times I have to talk to my staff and remind them where we're at to kind of humble them, because we've been at the highest of the high. And now we're at the lowest of the low, and, it's a little difficult, frustrating sometimes. But like they said, working with athletes that never played football before and the progress they're making right now here at Clairemont, I'm pretty proud of it. Like,
absolutely,
they're all adapting. you know, there's some kids that just can't handle it, and that's what we let them know. Football's not for everybody. We're trying to establish a culture here, something different. So they're definitely starting to buy in. It's gonna take a while, a long while, but I'm proud of the kids over there at Clairemont, and you know how far they came from zero experience playing football.
Yeah, see, I'm glad it's like that because one of the earlier episodes we had TJ and Tay Tay. They're new at Mount Miguel, and they say like some of their players like they're happy like their coaches yell at them, make them go to the weight room, actually work out. You know, actually have like an organized practice and stuff like that. So it's just little stuff like that that's really going to bring you and grow you as a coach and take you out to the next level.
Absolutely.
Yes. So touch on y'all's play. Like I said, so you at Madison, are y'all the same class, same grade?
Same class,
Okay,
same
for
grade.
sure. And you went to Oregon, right? Talk to us about your playing experience at Oregon.
Oh yeah, man. First and foremost, I gotta say it was a blessing to be able to play at the next level. Yeah, man, the experience is what it is, man. I think for all college experience, it's whatever you make out of it. So when I got to Oregon, Tyree Robinson, Royce Freeman, I had a couple of Dago boys, and CJ was my roommate. So I kind of had a sense of Dago still in Eugene, Oregon, although Eugene, Oregon isn't San Diego. But yeah, bro, the football was what you would think of it. You know, it's like top notch. It's Nike University. The practices were intense. My first year, I had Willie Taggart. He was my head coach. That year was kind of like downfall year, but my sophomore year, my O-line coach, which was under Nick Saban at Alabama, he has a bunch of national championships under his belt, but he became my head coach, and we picked up, I think, the linebacker coach from Wazoo, Coach Wilson. He's now the head coach at Nevada. I learned a lot from him. I played with Justin Herbert too. We won a Pac-12 championship, and I also got to play in the Rose Bowl, bro. So, yeah, those experiences were amazing, man. I'm blessed, man, and yeah, man, that's how that was.
Okay. And then so you, Isaiah, going to
South Dakota.
you know what I'm saying? How was your experience?
Yeah, you know, I was at South Dakota. A lot of people don't really know too much about the FCS level. It's still D1. It's just D1 AA.
Oh, man, there's some I tell
Top
people all the time.
notch.
It's talent. It's talent all over, man. Don't sleep on nowhere you go. It's gonna be
Especially in the Missouri Valley Football Conference, because we were in that conference. So a lot of people consider that the SEC of the FCS. Like we played against, you know, North Dakota States, South Dakota States, and stuff like that. Like my freshman year, I redshirted, and I didn't actually play until like my redshirt sophomore year. And then my first start was actually versus our rival, South Dakota State. And they were number 5 in the nation at that time. We had a losing record. And then I got my first start. I had 9 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, 2 TFLs. And we ended up winning that game, and we hadn't beat South Dakota State as a football program since 1999. And that was back in 2019. And so that was like our years of like our kind of years when I was at South Dakota was like a culture change within itself in our college football program, because we had just had a lot of guys that ended up going to play for the NFL too. Like my teammate Cameron Klein, he went to Patrick Henry High School with Desmond Patman, and Cam, he plays for the Buffalo Bills now. And then one of my other teammates, Jack Cochran, plays for the Chiefs. He just won a Super Bowl with the Chiefs. And that was kind of around our class. Like we set a standard and a culture at South Dakota, and now, you know, the school, you know, is doing really well and it's picking up. The culture is changing just because of the different guys we had in there that were willing to put in the work, extra time, and go against some of the top competition in all of the country, you know, because, you know, we played against, you know, the Trey Lances, you know, Christian Watson, you know, Dallas Goddard, you know, South Dakota State, all these guys. And the Missouri Valley, it's an interesting conference because it's a lot of like big football players. Pretty much like corn-fed, you know, they say like corn-fed, like a lot of tight ends, heavy personnels. You know, you see a lot of 21 personnel, a lot of 22 personnel. and then they just run it, and a lot of big guys on the line, and it's an interesting conference because it really challenges you as a player. Like, it's not more so about just the speed now. It's can you be strong enough to take on, some of these bigger guys, and especially a guy like my size. I was one of the smallest on my team, and playing in the Valley, it's almost like I'm playing against, monsters. So it was more so about when I was playing there, just being under that veteran leadership, because I think Sampson mentioned it too with his teammates at Oregon. He had that veteran leadership. Those guys that were before him kind of took him under his wing. The same thing happened for me at South Dakota. Some of those older guys, that had experience playing in the Valley, they take you under your wing, show you how to work, show you about the process. Because especially college is hard no matter where you go, no matter what level. It's a program, it's a structure. But, playing in the Valley, it definitely challenges you and tests you not only as a football player, but a man too.
Yeah, okay. You got to just survive in those small ass towns and shit.
Small town, weird places, weather conditions.
Yeah.
I know you know about.
I want to talk to you about
the weather.
I went to Dort, it's in Iowa. We was not too far away, so like
using Sioux Center.
Yep. Talk to them a little bit about like the culture change, in the Midwest, because you lived in Dago your whole life, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so you know how it is.
Yeah, it was definitely a culture shock when I got out there, man. A huge culture shock. My first semester out there, I had to experience they call it a polar vortex. And it's like where there's like this winter blizzard, and it's like a big blizzard, and then the wind chill gets to even colder. So it was like -3 degrees, but with wind chill it was -60.
Yeah, they don't know. Like that cold. The cold's only one level. When you get that wind chill, that's what really kill you right there.
Yeah, and it sounds like
it go through all your clothes. So you feel
it rips through your clothing, everything. Like you try to hide it with the the ski mask. No, it cuts right through, and the weather will get so bad to the point out there where they'll sometimes even cancel school as well. You know what I mean? They'll even sometimes cancel school, and they'll say stay inside. Because it's like a weather caution, a weather hazard. That'll get so cold out there. I think the coldest game I played in, it was 2018. 2018. It was my redshirt freshman year. We played at South Dakota State in Brookings, and we played on like an ice field. It was like snow and ice on the field, and they have like an outside field. So we were fortunate enough to play in a dome, but our rival South Dakota State, they have an outside field, and we played them late in the schedule, so it's in the winter. And it was about -9 degrees, ice on the field. Everybody was all huddled up by the heaters. It's a culture shock, man. It's a different experience, like football wise and just like school wise, like social wise. Like it's not the same as Dago, where it's the same weather all year round. Now it's like, okay, like, do I truly love this sport? Do I truly love this game? It tests you. It tests you as a man, and it tests you like, do I really want this education? And do I really want to play football? Because I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I tell players all the time. High school is like the last time that is going to be just for fun. After that, it's like, do you really love it?
It's a business.
Bro? Because
it's a business.
no matter what level you go to, especially now, like these D2, D3, you know what I'm saying? They acting like D1 coaches now. Like they like, I need 6'3", 235.
Yeah.
I'm like, they just go hit that portal.
Yeah, bro, definitely, bro. I think to carry back on like having fun in high school in comparison when you get to the next level, bro. When you get to college, it's cutthroat, bro. It's for a lot of people out there who getting recruited or not getting recruited, man, that shit's a business. My bad. I don't know. It's a business out there, man. So if you're not producing, man, you're not gonna play, man. If you don't take care of stuff in the classroom either, you're not gonna play. So. Yeah, man, it's serious up there because you got to think about it in the lens of a college coach, man. The way your production is how he feeds his family. So if you're not producing, you're out of there, man. Mm-hmm. And there's another person that's dying to get that position. So
yep, and I want to say something too. So the coach who recruited you, it's in his job. His job description is to find somebody next year who's better than you to take your spot.
Yeah,
bro.
Job is to replace you.
Yep.
Yes, bro. If not replace you or somebody better, bro. Mm-hmm. And in the end, bro, if you and a younger guy are kind of tied in terms of skill level and mental capacity, whatever it is, bro, they're gonna go with the younger guys. So you have to figure out what's gonna separate you from your competition and just excel, man.
So, question for the head man. Kind of a two-part question. What was your goal coming into your first year? And then do you think you are approaching that goal or reached that goal? And if you haven't, what do you think you can do better to reach that goal that you set for the beginning of the year?
For sure. So I feel like as a staff, our goal, we knew coming into the situation what the situation was, what we were working with, who we were working with, the resources we have. So definitely, first and foremost, our
I do gotta say though, before I cut you off, y'all stadium is one of the illest stadiums in Dago. I cannot lie. That's an ill stadium.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. So yeah, one of the first goals is like just changing these guys' mindsets, right? I mean, obviously we have goals as far as, what our record looks like in the season, where we want to finish and things like that, but understanding the program that we're in and the kids we have, just crafting great leaders, great men, kids that have accountability, have standards, have expectations, right? Because going into this year, man, like, they never even hit the weight room in the last 5 years. You know what I'm saying? This is real. Like,
Weight room with cobwebs all up in it.
they've never watched film in the last 5 years. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like as a coaching staff coming where we came from, we have these certain expectations, but yet the kids we're working with, man, to put those expectations on them is like, I feel like that's like you're really dreaming. So where we started from was the ground level, building that relationship, that connection, because like you said earlier, like once you develop that relationship, man, those kids will run through walls for you. And you had mentioned earlier about Mount Miguel and how those coaches get on their kids and those kids love it. It's the same thing with us, man. Like, and we're so young to the point they call us like 11 o'clock at night. Like first they ask about the game, and then they're like, "You want to play Xbox or PS4?" We're like, "All right, we can't do all that with you, but we appreciate the love." And that comes with the young staff drawing that fine line of, yeah, don't be afraid to reach out, but we're not gonna go to that extent.
Yeah.
But we're gonna love you like older brothers, role models, and hype you guys up and build you guys up. But like you said, when we first started, for me, the goal was to try to develop these kids into getting that football mindset. What does it mean to be a football player? How does that look like, right? Because at a normal program, you have a couple youth guys that played football at the youth level, and so they know how to walk and talk like a football player. Right now, we don't even have one kid in our whole program that's played youth football. So there's not even one guy to look at to say, hey, look, that's what it looks like. That's the mindset. So a lot of it from us it's coming from us. It's teaching them how to watch film. It's teaching them how to think. It's their work ethic. Like, they think we're just on them, and it's like, no, if you want goals, you got to work for it. Coach Zay always says this. He says, works without faith is dead.
Yep.
And I truly believe that, and that's what we preach to them every day. Like, yeah, you can want it all you want, but you got to work for it. Like, you want, and that's the thing with the young staff is we're putting into their head like college opportunities and how to get there. And it's like, okay, well, the college coach is going to ask how you work out. He's going to ask how you are in film. Do you take plays off during practice? Like, so a lot of that is like a huge change for them, and I'm proud of how far they came. And like you to answer your question, long answer, but yeah. So my original goal is like just developing these kids into real football players as best as we can. And I forgot the second part of your question. What was the second?
It was
part?
just, do you think you're reaching your goal?
So yeah, so coming where we came from, it's a long way to go, but I do feel like they are getting there. They're asking, man, like the first couple weeks, they'd be afraid to ask questions. The next couple weeks, they ask the questions. They even know that when they're gonna ask that question that they're gonna get chewed out. But they sit there and they take it. They don't talk back. They don't nothing. They know. And the really cool thing is, like, man, they can go watch us play. You know what I'm saying? They can go see Isaiah McDaniels. They can see Samson New. They can Google it. So when your coach is getting on you and you're just like thinking, man, was he really doing that? They could really look these guys up and be like, damn, yeah, okay, my coach, yeah, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, so and then like another thing was just baby steps. You know what I'm saying? You said y'all 4 and 5 now?
Yeah, 4 and 5.
So you feel me? If like I said, y'all 500 game of 500. Y'all in there? You feel me? Like y'all, it's a success.
And we should also, I think, talk about the fact too. Like Clairemont hasn't necessarily had a winning season in how long, Coach? Like
At least 5 years.
5 years, and this is the first time they've had 4 wins in the season.
That's baby steps,
That's
bro.
back when
And
Michael was
since-
there, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
since like 2018.
Michael Azevedo.
Michael Azevedo. Yeah.
Hey,
Shout out,
was it like a DN or something like that?
Yeah.
Where you go to college at?
Princeton.
Princeton.
He went
Did
to Princeton.
I remember.
Yep.
I remember.
Oh, we kept in contact a little bit because he didn't play until he got to high school.
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly.
You're lying.
And I went
So what did he play? He had to play some sport.
I went to Marston Middle School with him, and he didn't. He played like other sports like baseball, track, but he was really Mino knows like he had size, like the measurables that college coaches want, and so I would always tell him like when we were in middle school, like bro, you should try and play football. He's like, He's like maybe in high school. He tried it in high school, and I think he was in your grade too, right?
Yep, thank God he didn't go to Madison.
Yeah. And yeah, he just, he ended up like just going to camps, and that's what we are trying to instill in these kids as well, is like football is not just in the fall. Like if you really try and take it to the next level, you have to do off-season work too. And that's what Michael did, is he started doing like the big skill camps, like the giant skill camps, like the lineman camps. He started going to different things to build his skill. So then when he kept playing football, everything just started clicking, and that's what I be trying to tell the kids is like, once the off season comes, like the work doesn't stop, the grind don't stop. Like you always have to get 1% better every day and keep trying to master your craft,
And have any of y'all talked to Michael about him coming back? Just to show the kid so he can talk to him and show the
I've
kids,
actually
like,
been
hey,
texting Michael.
I was in your shoes. I didn't play football growing up.
Yeah, I've been texting Michael. He just got done with school. He just graduated from Princeton not that long ago. And he's always saying like how he loves like everything that us as a staff we're doing over there, and like the kids look up to him too, like, because they know who, Azevedo is, and like he inspires them, and then Mike's just like always like, giving words of encouragement too. So, I haven't talked to him about, coming out yet, but I know he would love to, just cause it's things like that, the habits that you do within yourself to work hard and make yourself a successful person for yourself, your family, and the people around you. It transpires down, like it floods down, like the seeds you plant. You may not ever see that tree sprout, but it's the fact that you planted that seed, and then all it takes is one kid, to change their life just off of that one seed,
Okay, I want to come back to you, Gonzo. So, a little bit more about your story. Tell me about, how you ended up getting this coaching job here at Clairemont. Talk to me through that. And then I'll get to the second part afterwards. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. So it was COVID season. I heard they were looking for some coaches at Clairemont. So I went on and joined the staff. I was there for about 4 years under the last head coach, and then they decided they wanted to move a new direction. And it's funny because like during that season, it's like all my boys was out playing football, their last year of college or second to last year in college. So and throughout that time, I'm still messaging them, trying to get, because at that point I'm still, I'm a D-line coach. I'm still trying to build my game up, and I got these guys, actively playing D1 football. So I'm reaching out to them, asking them for advice, anything that they got. So the connections are still there. They know exactly what I'm doing, where I'm working at. And man, I had so many conversations with Coach Zay. Like I would just call him on a Friday. We talked like 3-4 hours just about Clairemont and what's there. Like most importantly, what he said the field, the view, man. That's the first thing.
It's sweet, bro.
That's a big recruiting pitch,
That's
man.
one thing that's not gonna go away.
That is slept on, bro. Claremont has a nice field.
Because then, like,
Yeah.
it reminds me of Southwestern College, like, because it's like,
In a
like
way.
it's kind of like the crowd is on top of you.
Them
like,
and Sarah.
Yep.
And Sarah. Sarah's like
and
that
Sarah,
too.
You can see the ocean, the sunset. So that's where it kind of started with these guys. So when there was a vacancy, I started reaching out to all my boys. Isaiah, Samson, Keanu, Caesar, Christian, Jake, all them guys. And at that point, I didn't even know if I was gonna get an opportunity to even interview, right? Because the way I'm thinking of it, I'm a young head coach.
That's what I was wondering. I'm like, how did you even think, like, man, to even to put your name in that hat? You feel me? Because I'm still nervous to this day. You know what I'm saying about?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like,
That's a
somebody
good
messing
point.
with me. You know what I'm saying? And like, was it because you coached there that you felt you was comfortable to?
Yes, it was because I coached there, and also like my relationship with the administration, like the VPs, the athletic director, like they always kind of knew my mindset, and like the way I believe is like, man, you build a kid up. Like you don't get a kid and then you use him. No, you develop him into what he is. You develop his mindset, his confidence. I'm a big believer in believing in yourself. Regardless whether you're the best guy or you're the worst guy, you need to have that mindset to where you can grind and see the potential of yourself. So when that vacancy happened, I started reaching out to all my guys, and saying, hey, I don't know if I'm going to get this job, but if I do, are you going to ride with me? Can you help me out? And, one by one, they're saying yes. And, when your brothers, once one's bought in, the other ones start
He
coming.
gonna do it, I do
You know
it.
what I'm
You
saying?
feel me?
Yeah. They don't want that FOMO. So they all locked in with me, and I went through like 3 interviews. I had the panel interview.
They
Had
put
to
you
answer.
through it, huh?
Yeah, they put me through it, man. So like that's the thing is like some people just think it was just handed to me.
Nah.
Granted, because it's Clairemont and what they've been through historically, like. But man, I had to do like 3 interviews, panel interviews. I had to come in. Shout out to Coach Sam. Coach Sam helped me, man. He'll interview me and give me advice. He would.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. That's
He'd
what's up.
give me advice. He'd be like, all right, Coach Gonzo, like that was a great answer, but you're being way too humble. You need to tell them and be more confident in your answers and what you say. So that's kind of like how it happened, man. Reach out to these guys, always help me, always show love, and they all bought in, and we all bought into one common dream, and we want to do it together. And the crazy part is my staff, we known each other since we were 8 years old. Man, we go at it at practice, we go at it in the games, but at the end, it's all love, man. Like, that criticism you get, the critiques from each other, like, I think you should do this. And it's not even just from the defense perspective. Defense critiques themselves, but then our defense tells our offense, like, hey, we see this hole, we see this, how about we make this adjustment? And all it is hearing that, right? Being open to those comments without being so closed off, And I feel
It's
like
a team sport.
it's team sport, and that's why I feel like our staff kind of has a little head over certain other staffs, is because we can just dig into each other, and it comes from a place of love because we have that respect and we have that one common goal.
Yeah, what people don't understand, man, is sometimes you're gonna get in some uncomfortable conversations. You know what I'm saying? Like me and Carter, we didn't came this close face to face to each other. Like, well, what's happening there? You feel me? It's just football. You feel me? Football is gonna happen. It's gonna get aggressive. At the end of the day, you feel me? He big bro, I'm little bro. We go pound it out, give it a fist bump, and we go move on and try to win. You feel me? So, but y'all doing it the right way, man. It honestly does start from the top. You feel me? He doing his thing. Y'all have his back. Y'all give him whatever he wants, whatever he needs. Y'all make him look good. You feel me? And by y'all making him look good, all y'all gonna look good. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So y'all doing it the right way, man. Y'all doing it the right way.
And then you answered my second question about like the process of thinking about getting them two and everybody else in there. So I want to hear from your perspective. What's going through your mind? Gonzo hit you up about the coaching job. What's going through? Who you hitting up? What you thinking about? Talk to me.
Yeah. So, like Coach Gonzo said, we've known each other since we were like 8 years old. I've known Coach Gonzo since I was in 3rd grade. He was actually my neighbor as well. So we've been very close friends. And so, time goes on. I get to college. And, when I was in college, my coaches, I went through 3 different defensive coordinators in college and 4 different position coaches. So a lot of different systems, right? A lot of different defensive systems. So I had a lot of, perspective from different type of personalities and coaches. And they always, the biggest theme I got from all of them, they would always tell me, hey, like, Zay, you'd be a great coach one day. You'd be a great coach one day. And they would always plant that seed. So then when Coach Gonzo started bringing up, his whole thing with Clairemont, he was coaching on the JV the very first time on the JV. He's like, man, Isaiah, this place has so much potential. You should come out, maybe check out a practice, work out with the kids. And so there was one summer I was back for break after after the spring semester, and just did a workout with the kids, and I got to see like, wow, like it's not the kids, you know what I'm saying? It's because they don't have that structure. And that was my first glimpse at it, because we all know historically what Clairemont has done, but it's about like it was just more so I got to see it firsthand. They just need people to care about them, and then after that I had like 2 more seasons after that, and we get a lot of gear in college and stuff like that, and like a lot of my leftover gear from my younger years I would just mail to Coach Gonzo and be like, hey, these for the kids, like, because a lot of them, they don't have cleats, they don't be having gloves, like nothing like that, and I'm like, this stuff is just sitting in my closet, like, I would have gave it to my little cousin anyway, but no, like sent it there. And then once he started mentioning like how things were going at Clairemont, and then when he brought up the, that, hey, I'm going for the vacancy, the head coach position, like, you want to be on staff, it was almost like a no hesitation thing for me. And it was in the right timing, because my eligibility had just ended December 2022. And, I did an NFL pro day, but I didn't get drafted or signed, and it's very hard to get into that business of the NFL too. Everybody knows. So, it is what it is, worked hard for it, and then played a little arena football. And it was just the right timing, because then once I got done with everything, I moved back to San Diego in the summer. That was the start, that was the start of everything. And it was really a no hesitation thing. Like, he was telling me, like, Keanu's coming to coach, Elijah,
Go ride with your
Samson. I'm a ride. Like, with my brothers, like, I hadn't won a championship since my senior year of high school. I played 5 seasons of college football and never got close. Only one time, one conference championship, but we got blew out by North Dakota State. And so the last time I was even close to smelling the championship, I was with my brothers. Now I get the opportunity to do it again right after college. Like, it's a no hesitation yes, It was just kind of like that.
Did you mean to say the question over again?
No, I remember it. I think, like, looking back now, because Gonzo tried to get me to coach before he was a head coach. And I came out to like a practice, and I would see what was going on, and it was, I can't do it. I couldn't do it, bro. I'm gonna be honest, I couldn't do it just because the standard I played at high school and the next level was very high, and I just didn't see it going a certain way. So I remember the spot became vacant. They was looking for a new head coach, and he told me, he's like, yeah, I want to be the head coach. And I said, bro, if you get the head coaching job, I'll be on the coaching staff. So we prepped, man, long nights in the garage. We prepped.
That's what's up, bro. You a real one for that, bro.
Yeah, bro, I'm talking about we prep. All right, man, say the question again. I'll say the answer, like, repeat. And when it happened, decisions made, he got it. I'm bought in. Zay, of course, Zay's already bought in. Zay's still in South Dakota. He's bought in. So he had me and Zay on lock, and then from there it was like trying to get everybody else, So yeah, man, that's my brother, man. I've known Gonzo since like little boys. Like, we went to 6th grade all the way to 12th grade together, and we played football even before that. So yeah, man, my brother needed help, man. I was gonna be there. So yeah,
good, man. I'm happy to see this, man. More young coaches, you know what I'm saying? Trying to come up, man. I ain't gonna hate on y'all nothing like that, like they did on me. Like they did on me. You feel me? We good, man. We good. So question for you. You played for your pops, right?
Yeah.
So how was it playing for how was that experience playing for pops? I always ask this for other people who play for their pops. I
Man.
play for my pops too. You feel me? So
different.
Yeah.
It's always interesting to hear for me personally.
Yeah, bro. I mean, it's what it looks. I mean, you would have to really know my pops to understand like the type of person he is and his character. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the only difference was it was like football didn't just end on the football field. Like, I used to get it at home too. You know what I mean? So, man, if I had a bad game,
I feel you.
I was gonna hear it at home, you know. So,
You
yeah,
gotta
bro,
watch
but
film
that's
with Pops and
practice.
everything.
yeah, bro. That's from like all the
Practices.
way to like AYF Pop Warner all the way to high school, you know.
Okay.
But I think the transition from playing for my pops every year to all right, this is your coach now. You know what I'm saying? It was different for me. It was hard for me to adjust for it.
But you was able to relax more, right?
Yeah, bro, but I wasn't that like, uptight. I could kind of like I was able to make mistakes, and get that criticism and try to do better. But yeah, man, it's different. Having your dad as a coach is different.
For sure. So like, I have my twins. You feel me? I got an 8-year-old, athletic as hell. I just don't want to coach him.
Me either,
I don't want
man.
to coach him until at least high school. Like I want a chance to just be a father and just let him develop. I'll train him and get him right on some off-season stuff. But like, as far as coaching him, I just don't even want to coach him yet because
Yeah.
I just don't like me and my dad. Like, I feel like me and my dad relationship got better when we got older, and I was able to not. I wasn't playing for him no more. We was able to just be father and son.
Yeah,
You feel me? But like at the end of the day, I don't think I would have been the player I was if I didn't play for him either. Because he did like as far as like the IQ and the knowledge of the game. My dad did. He taught me that when I was young. You feel me? Like I already had that. And then kind of like with you when you was talking about like the mindset and everything, I felt like that's what my high school coaches did. They taught me how to approach the game.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
most definitely.
But just back to the subject though, like just because I always want to hear about how people's experiences was playing for their dad, just being
Yeah.
a coach's son. You know what I'm saying?
Also, I gotta
It's
add
always
on to that because
interesting.
I was kind of giving heat to my pops, bro. But my pops, he definitely shaped me
Yeah.
to the football player I am
Yeah.
and the man I am.
sure.
So he taught me everything I know about the game. I wouldn't be where I'm at today without my pops. So shout out to you, pops. I know you gonna watch, man. So I gotta give you
Nah, at the
that.
end of the day, man, they gave us everything we needed.
Yes,
you know what I'm
sir.
saying? So we can't forget about that as well.
There we go. So, I haven't been to Madison, so I don't know what the culture was like when y'all was there. I don't know if you guys are, but if you are, how are you instilling that into the kids?
From Madison to Clairemont.
Yep.
What you wanna answer first?
Go ahead, son.
I think we try to keep it separate, like whatever we did at Madison, that's what we did at Madison. But like this is something new. Like we're building from because not every program is gonna be perfect by all means. You know what I'm saying? So there's certain things that I feel like we would change within that culture. And even the next level when I was in college, and we try to implement that in the kids right now. A good example would be like for my linebackers, I'm hard on them. Like I don't know if you guys met Leo yet, or if you guys are here because
I've been seeing him. I've been seeing him.
he's a boy, bro. He's a boy. He's a dog, and I know D5 and everything, but he's a dog, man.
And
He's
D5 don't matter.
Yeah.
Right, D5.
Hey,
B,
Horizons.
Dre, Thomas.
He's a dog,
Jalen,
yeah, bro.
everybody.
Years.
Yeah.
it's and well, it's his first actual full season
First full season playing football.
playing football, bro. He hasn't played anything but before high school, so I bring up his name because he bought into what we were saying. He believed in us, and now he just got his first offer, man. So I just want to congratulate him, and it really works, man. So yeah, man, I think from building it from ground up and wanting to sustain like a history at Clairemont and wanting to do something great for this program, I think it's hard now, but eventually it's going to pay off.
See, before I'm going to somebody else, I love that answer, by the way, because being at so many different places, you see how the culture shifts, and as a young coach, I'm learning that you got to be flexible with the way you do things. You know what I mean? Just because I worked at Madison, you guys
It's not going to work.
You guys were a great team, won state. You feel me? Played a lot of good teams. Some people would be like, it worked here. I'm gonna bring it there. It'll be the same formula. It doesn't work like that. So, just that lets me know y'all gonna be good coaches by the way your mind is with doing that.
Yes, sir. Yeah, just onto that point, like exactly. You have to be willing to adapt because we have the standard and the blueprint that we have from Madison, and we know what it takes, but now it's like, okay, how do we apply this to this school, and how can we apply it in a way that the kids can adjust to that? it's all about, like you said, being willing to change, being willing to adapt. I think, especially as young coaches, it helps that we have a broad mindset. We don't think within a box, because especially with what the circumstances that we have presented to us just as being first year coaches, it's a learning curve. And then the resources we have, like everything we have to do has to have flexibility, and we have to be willing to adapt and adjust to whatever we need to do, to keep progressing in the way that we want to progress the program. And I think that's one of the biggest things. It seems simple, but it's really not. And I think sometimes, like, because I noticed just, playing at different levels, at youth level, high school level, college level, some coaches get too conservative, or they're too stuck on, the traditional or how they want to do it. But the game is changing in a lot of different ways. And you have to be willing to change with the times of the game if you want to be a successful program.
I'm going to come back to you right quick, Gonzo. So I know first year head coach, there's a lot of things you had to change to improve, or just to improve on, to upgrade. What's one thing, like going through a whole season now, that as a coaching staff or program that you need to do that's going to take you guys to the next level right now? Like just that one thing, like, hey, we have to get this right next season so we can get to where we're trying to be.
Right. So, man, for me, like, this first year is huge to help us for next year. But, like, man, this offseason, we were developing kids, and we have more coaches out there than we had kids.
Yep.
So, man, we started the offseason with, like, 5 kids, man, and only 2 of those ended up staying on the team to go play for us.
Yep.
The other 3 kind of just tailed off, didn't come back.
Great point.
But I feel like the biggest difference going into next season is going to be letting those kids know, like, hey, the off season is where you get ahead. That's where you separate yourself. And I feel like going into next year, really making that emphasis on the end of this year, like, hey, you want to do better than this year? Well, let's dive in this off season and let's really get better, whether it's going to camps, whether it's meeting with your individual coaches, however it may be, but you need to be bought in and you need to show up. Because that's the thing I think they're realizing now is, like, the more they show up, the more they get better, right? So I feel like the off season for us going into next year is going to be huge. And, man, just a lot of different, different things from coaching-wise that we can improve on, like just being more on our toes, being more like, you're never going to get it right the first time. We're obviously going to be hard on ourselves, criticize ourselves, and going into next year, man, we're going to be way ahead than we are this year. But I'm proud of the progress we've made thus far. And yeah, next year is going to be huge because now we'll have that core set of guys coming into next year saying, okay, let's really get into it this year. And then that helps with, because Clairemont being a small school, you got like 700 to 800 kids on campus. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? A lot of those kids play 2 sports or 3 sports. You know what I'm saying? So really getting the ones that, maybe only playing 2 sports and getting them in the off season, like, hey, you really need to work toward this. You know what I'm saying? So that's the biggest thing for me is letting them know, like, hey, the work is here. You just got to show up. Because in years past, they never had the coaches. So they don't even know what it means. Like, it's funny, one of my our starting quarterback, he tore his ACL this year, but he told me like a week ago, he goes, hey, coach, like, I never really realized, like, because he was speaking from last year, he's like, I never really realized, like, we weren't really doing much last year. That's what he said. Because last year we just did team, man. Yeah. We did team for an hour, team offense, team defense for an hour. Now they go indies. Now they go inside runs, 7-on-7,
they get the whole structure now.
Competition, like, and that's the thing over there is like they just don't know it, but now they know it. They got exposed to it, so I'm really excited for next year and to see how we progress.
So, DC to DC.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. What's up?
So being your first year as being a DC, what do you think is your hardest type of offense to game plan for that you think you've seen so far?
That's a great question, Coach. That's a great question, Coach. I would say formationally and schematically, it's really not hard for me. It's more of the personnel we have, and that's what makes it hard. So like, say for instance, a couple weeks ago we played Kearney. Kearney has an air raid, true spread offense. You know, they just line everyone out wide, get everyone out in space, get their athletes out in space, you know, and try to make you cover, try to make you tackle in space. And it's hard with the personnel we have just because we're still teaching those guys the simple principles of coverage, angles, you know.
So then when they turn it into a one-on-one. It's just like
exactly. It's cooked, you know. You know what I mean? And
that's
you
what
know,
the offense is supposed to do. You feel me?
exactly.
So,
They're supposed to attack the weaknesses, things like that. So I would say like the heavier personnels, it's a lot easier. I would say like teams that run a lot more, you know, West Coast with like 22 or 23 personnel, more heavy. Like when we play Viewpoint, a lot more easy to schematically scheme against that, just because we can get all of our guys closer in the box and they don't have to be out in the field and think too much.
I got you.
You know, they can be more physical, more body on body, hands on. But having them out in space, that was kind of hard, just because, especially when you play a quarterback has good pocket awareness and pocket presence, like Kearney did. You know, I'll give, you know, the flowers to Kearney. They have a good offensive attack, and their quarterback, you know, he has an arm, he has accuracy, throwing power, but he also can scramble and he has great pocket awareness. So it's about getting those guys in the right coverages and right angles, but then also getting the D-line in their right gaps in terms of, you know, containing the pocket as well.
So when you talk about formations, how much time do you spend on actually just them lining up in the for? Like I do that a lot, and I think a lot of more coaches need to do that, because I watch a lot of film, bro, and like when you watch film, like how many times do you watch film and you see an offense score, and then you go back and like really watch the play and you just see like, well, they just hit the open gap.
Yeah, that's
or
it.
Or that guy just wasn't covered.
Like it's just the B gap's just always open. They just get into it in a different way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Take a play off.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's not like they doing anything like extraordinary. It's just that one.
Somebody was misaligned. They didn't have an edge set. Two people went in the same gap on the blitz, and
That's
then boom,
exactly
they just hit. So that's why I spend a lot of time on formations and like formation recognition. You know
Absolutely. And I think at South Dakota, you know, I learned a lot of football at South Dakota. Like I had mentioned earlier, I had 3 different defensive coordinators, 4 different position coaches, and I played safety in college. And usually the safeties coach is the defensive coordinator as well. Like, you know, for the most part, like my DCs were their position, the position they coach were the safeties. So I had got a full perspective of the whole defense, like not just my position, but like
because you're the quarterback for the most part.
For the most part, and in our defense at South Dakota, we were really like the quarterbacks. Like we make the calls, the coverages, we point out, put people in the positions. So I had to know what the linebackers were doing, the D-line was doing, the corners and the safeties, and just from that experience, now that I'm on the other side coaching, it's just a lot easier, because it's just like film study back in college. Because like you said, it's all formation recognition. Like I noticed just being my first year as a DC, and we're playing different teams in Division 5. That's the division we're in, and it's all they run is like maybe 2 formations and the same 12 plays in just 2 formations.
Yeah.
So like if we line up to the formation in the right way with the right type of defense, we'll be successful, because it's only 1 or 2 formations that they're doing.
And that's when you start getting into your checks, you know, automatic
checks, and
like
that's where the checks come in, and exactly, because you know it's the same exact play, just in that other formation.
Dress it up, yeah.
Yeah. So that's how that's been working. It's like you said, all like when I watch film as a DC, as I watch a lot of film too, it's just all like, what does this team do formationally? Because South Dakota put a huge emphasis on formation recognition, personnel recognition. Is there 2 tight ends in the game, 1 running back, 4 receivers? Like, you know, the difference between personnels and the difference between formations and stuff like that.
Lining up is half the battle, man.
Align. They used to tell us all the time, align for success. Align for success. That's the one of the most neglected things I think in the game of football is people before the ball's even snapped, you're not even in the right alignment, so it takes you out of the play. But if you align in a way that's gonna make you successful for the play, you could just play that much faster.
So like I said, man, just is always gonna be steps in progression and evolution and the evolution of your defense. You know what I'm saying? My first year, like I said, it was just about I'm so big on lining up right. You feel me? So it was just making sure I can just get them to line up right to every single formation that we would see. You feel me? Because the type of kids that I got at Lincoln, I know they're aggressive kids. So I don't need to teach aggression and how to tackle, how to go downhill. I need to teach them how to think it and how to see it. You feel me? I know if I can get them to see it how I see it, you feel me? Then we'll be fine. You know what I'm saying?
Just like the simple nuances of football.
Exactly. So then you start off with that, and then like I said, you know football, so it's always gonna be fundamentally sound. But like you said, you play Kearney, and then now you need something more than just being fundamentally sound. How can I scheme it now to get
That's the whole
fucking
thing.
4-on-3 now? Because I'm gonna need an extra defender when they throw these bubbles and stuff like that. Because I can't leave it 1-on-1. So it's just that's the next part of you being a DC. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then so like you finna approach. Well, you know, not saying, but how are y'all looking for playoffs?
We're at the 7th spot right now.
Okay.
8,
So another advice that I'll give you after you go through your season, finish your season, y'all use Huddle, right?
Yep.
So when you go through Huddle, bro, it's gonna take a long ass time.
Sorry, I'm still not sure about that.
Oh, that's my watch. My bad. It's gonna take a long ass time, but literally go through every game, bro.
Yeah.
And mark and tag like the formation, the run that they ran on you, and literally tag all of that, right? And then put it in the assists on the reports, and like just see which runs gave you the most fits which you gave up the most. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the
analytics. When we lost to Helix that year, going into last year, the one play that always fucked me, bro, was GT counter.
GT counter.
You feel me? So that whole offset, bro, I'm asking everybody, because like Coop, he's at St. Augustine now. You know, he's a linebacker, he played for the Chargers and stuff. I'm asking him, like, bro, how do I guard GT counter? I'm talking to the homies. The homie Deontay Lee, he's a DC at Mount Carmel. The homie Kendall Mooney, he's at Mission Bay right now, but he was at Crawford. And like that was like just always just when you go in the off season, just pick one thing you need to fucking get better on. You know what I'm saying? So like going into like last year, it was GT counter. You know what I'm saying? This year, it was, damn, how am I gonna? Because you know they put this wing and they run that slip where he goes from this side behind the line of scrimmage and run there. You feel me? So I had to do some research on that to figure out how to stop that. You feel me? We'll talk about that off camera. You know what I'm saying? If you want to know. You feel me? But then and then so like now, what I'm going through now is just shifts and motions. You know what I'm saying? So my off season now, I'm just gonna like look at all the film, look at every type of shift and motion that they did on our defense, and just work on that. And I'm gonna watch football just all over the world and see what type of shifts and motions they did, just to see what's easier and how to keep it so my kids can play fast and not think too much.
Yeah,
So just always evolution. Just try to always evolve your defense. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely,
Like
coach.
now I'm getting them to the point where, like, I don't have to make a call on the sideline. Like they'll see the formation. So like now I tell them, okay, if we see this formation, we go run either this, or this.
And that's what we do.
Y'all make the call. You feel me? And now they're getting that to that point where they're making the call. Mino got them checking coverages. If we see this, if it's a tight split, we'll check to this and all this. And so just always work on evolving and just trying to, I don't know if it's a word, but evolutionize your defense. You know what I'm saying? So,
Absolutely. That was a great point you just made, because that's how we basically broke it down. Well, our defense, it's like, hey, if you see a 2x2 set, we play this. If you see a 3x1 set, we play this, so that the kids are out there seeing it themselves, recognize formations, and they can make the play themselves, because that's the whole thing. Like, we know as coaches, we understand what's going on, but it's, can the kids understand what's going on?
Get them to see it how you see it.
How we see it.
Like,
so, hey, you make the call out there. You know what I mean? Like, you know, a guy like Leo, you know, as Coach Sam says, bought in, right, to what we're trying to make this program out to be. He's out there, right? He sees a formation. all right, he makes that call, and so it's teaching him how to recognize certain things on the way, you know, as he's learning.
So like my linebacker number 2, LJ.
Yep.
That's why he's just playing. He's playing so fast.
Yeah, he's a
now, bro,
dog.
because he's just playing so fast now because he just watched so much film. You
Yep,
feel
there
me?
it
Like,
is.
and then he just picked he's not making the same mistakes he made last year. He's just playing so much faster. Like he sees the guard. He's leaning back. He's just beating the guard to the hole. You feel me? Like once you get them in that film room, that's how they play fast. You know what I'm saying? It's just stuff like that. So like I was telling him too, one of the best parts about coaching is when you're yelling at a kid from freaking the summer about guarding flood, and he's still biting on that 5-yard out every single time. And then in week 10, he finally drops back and picks. I was like, oh, and you just so had like that. You know, feel me? So that's the joys of coaching. You know what I'm saying? Those are the victories you get now in coach. Like with your backer, I know he's seeing guard pulls now. He's getting over the top. He's getting out. You just like, hell,
Let me tell you, bro.
I'm telling you.
The basic reads. I'm trying to teach triangle reads. You know what I'm saying? I was like, hey, guards, if he pulls, man, we need to attack. That's how you gonna make a play, right? Man, it was so hard to understand that concept because it was easy for me and it came natural because I played all those years and I understood that. My pops instilled that to me. So trying to instill that into somebody who never played before, bro, it's like, he's like, Coach, I'm not seeing nobody pull it. It's a counter, bro. It's like 2 people. You know what I mean? Like, but now, bro, when they see that pull, oh, they're downhill with it. You know what I mean? They're downhill with it. So, yeah, bro, it's a good feeling to know, like, to see it coming to fruition, bro. It's like, man, I taught that, man. That's dope right there. That's dope. That's dope.
Mino had the same thing.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
yeah,
tell him
yeah.
about Bart.
So, which for
Bart, bro, Saints.
yeah. So you talking about just for his pick?
The pick.
Yeah, because we were working on. They did. It was an out in the corner, and they do it on the goal line and line up tight. So we just have them pretty much just banjo the playoff, and then throughout the season, it's kind of been messing us up because like the communication's always been off, and then like you feel me, it's just later on down the season, boom, they finally getting it right. Yeah, housed it. Big six. We always make a joke too because you always be getting caught. When
Because the first game of the season, he picked off a cover 2 out and got hawked. Got hawked.
So he had to run his start and
everything, bro. And got hawked. And every time we're in film, like this should be a pick 6.
Yeah.
Unless you're Bart, it's not gonna be a pick 6. But then he finally got one. He picked it off. He was so happy, bro. But it's just all about progress, man.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah, like another one too, like my corner, his name is Cam. I've been trying to get them to play, or not just some other DBs. I'm trying to get them to play catch technique, you know, because you don't really play catch technique in high school. You really do it in college. But I'm trying to show them like if you do it like this, it's a lot easier. Depending on the situation. So like, I see him do it on film, and like he did it against last week against UC. He played catch technique on the 10-yard line. The dude ran a comeback. And he messed up the route timing, and then he still picked the ball off. And I was like, that's what. I didn't even say, let's go. I said, that's why we play catch technique.
That's
why we play catch technique.
Yeah,
that's
you got
right.
to see it like in live action, like he actually applied the technique.
Yeah.
Game situation.
But I got one more question. You got any more before I try
What do you think?
All right, so coming back to you, Gonzo. I know it's been a while. Let me come back to you. So, I know you right now, it's first year head coach, you're thinking about, right now you're just thinking about the next game. You're not even thinking about the future right now, but go a little further for me. So it's your first year. I want what's your 3-year, 5-year? What do you plan to have Clairemont looking like? You feel me? After you get these years under your belt, you feel me? All y'all unexperienced right now, but I mean y'all getting it done. So what can we expect?
Right. Like you said, you know, just thinking about this year, but yeah, in the future, man, we're trying to do what we did as players, but on a coaching level. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to win a CIF championship. We talk a lot about winning a state championship too. You know, just like we did as players. So, you know, I feel like those are the goals we kind of have. You know, there's other goals. We want to get kids out of Clairemont, get them to college, man. Like we talked about Michael Acevedo being the last kid over like 4 to 5 years ago to come out of Clairemont. You know, and you know, this year, we, like Coach Sam said, we got Leo Lander. He got a Division I NAIA offer. So, you know, kind of, you know, we'll probably start with, you know, getting the kids out and showing other kids, right, in the San Diego community that you can come to Clairemont and you can make it out to college ball. Because at the end of the day, yeah, you want to go D1, you want to go to these top schools, Oregon, South Dakota, but the goal is, just to get out, right? So your parents don't have to pay that money, so you can go out there, be free, and kind of learn how to be a man on your own, right? Because I'm sure, I went to Cal State San Marcos, but these guys going, traveling away from their family, man, that's a different type of animal, right? They got to fend for themselves. Nobody's coddling you, so I feel like in the future, for sure, we want to try to get more guys out of Clairemont, First of all, show the city that it's possible. You can come to Clairemont and you can get a high school, you can get a college scholarship. So that's definitely one of the first goals is getting more of our kids out, more exposure, going to more camps, stuff like that. In the next few years, man, just keep building what we've been building off of. Because, man, it kind of reminds us of the Claremont Hawks days, man. Like, we're battling, always want to win a championship. Yeah. We never have. Like, second round out, third round out, knowing we could. So I kind of feel like we're kind of in the same situation, starting at Claremont. Like, we're going to have to put in the hard work. We're going to have to earn it. But eventually we do want to put Claremont on the map and give Claremont its first CIF championship since 81, I believe.
Yeah.
So
80s.
81.
The 80s.
Yeah, bro. It's crazy.
Spooky.
So that's the goal for the future, man. We want to win championships at Claremont. We want to flip the San Diego community on its head, right? Like, when's the last time Claremont was relevant? I don't even think we weren't even born yet. So that's all I got to say about that.
For sure, man. For sure. Well, like I said, man, I appreciate all y'all coming through, man. We locked in, man. So whatever y'all need something, you see something on film, you need some advice or something, man, don't hesitate to holler at me. That's all. I don't coach offense, but as far as defense, you feel me?
Yeah, good looking out, coach.
I might hit you for some linebacker tips or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
He has a lot.
I reach out to everybody. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it's a couple coaches that we always link up in the off season. So I'm gonna hit y'all in the off season to come join the band. You know what I'm saying? We just trying to, bounce off ideas with each other and everything.
Absolutely, coach.
Like I said, don't hesitate. You too, man. We exchange. Just don't hesitate to holler at me. You feel me? For whatever y'all need. All right. Sure. And appreciate you guys for tuning in. Like I said, episode 8. Please like, share, and subscribe to get all our information. Follow us on Instagram at WB Talk Show. And then we're on Twitter. It is, what's our Twitter handle?
Same thing. WB Talk Show.
WB Talk Show. Wild Bunch Talk Show. All right. So like I said, thanks for tapping in. See y'all again next week.